Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Sydney with Sydney's Bark and Bath. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I was about to get those reversed. So thank you for being here. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your business. What is it that you do?
Katie and Katie's my other groomer that works with me, service dogs and cats in the Lakeway area. We do haircuts, baths, nails, teeth brushing. We have a medicated bath that we offer. We do flea baths, so we try to accommodate any special needs that any pets might have. And we're also fear-free, so we have special training to make sure that we keep the experience as relaxing as possible for animals.
Like a spa day.
Don't you?
No, we do not dispense any medications.
They make it a spa day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have the little cucumber slices to put up their eyes?
We do not. No, the dogs
You've
would
seen
just
those
eat
pictures though, where the dogs are laid back and they've got the cucumber slice. That's what I imagine.
Those have to be photoshopped. Because the dogs, if it were my dogs, they would just eat the cucumbers.
Well, there you go. All right, so you offer all kinds of grooming services, basically,
Yes.
for cats and dogs.
Yes.
Okay. And where are you located?
We're just off of 25E on Brights Pike, kind of next to the Lakeway Auto on 25E.
Okay. I don't think that's Lakeway Auto. I think it's Parkway Auto Sales.
Oh.
Just trying to make sure we get our businesses
that's
right.
right.
But yeah, if you're going down 25E, headed towards the Granger County line and the bridge, if you turn left onto Brights Pike, like you're going into the Lakemore subdivision,
Okay.
you will see her there on your right. There's a big sign at the road.
Yes.
That's what I was telling her. I said, I know exactly where you are because I live in Lakemore. I pass you all the time. So.
Yep, it's right in between ABC and Carlisle.
Yes.
And there's a little mini storage in the same parking lot.
Yep. You can't miss her. So what are your hours of operation? What days are you open?
We're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we groom by appointment only. So you just call, set up a day and time that works for everybody, and then you drop your pet off, and we'll let you know once they're done. Most pets are only there for 1 to 2 hours on average.
Okay. Are there any breeds that you're not able to work on?
Not particularly. Sometimes larger dogs over 100 pounds can be a little bit more challenging since we are just two women. But we do have some stairs that attach to the bathtubs to help them get in and out. And our tables go up and down. They're electric. So we can do larger breeds as long as they are willing to help stand a little bit, but we've had to ask the guys at Linex across the street to help us before, so we try to make it work.
I got you. All right. Do you sell any kind of products at your store, like, flea treatments or?
We do sell a little bit of shampoo and cologne mostly, but the retail isn't too big at the salon.
Gotcha. Okay. So how long have you been in business? What made you want to become a groomer?
I have been a groomer for 5 years, and prior to that, I was actually a vet tech. I started grooming. I was working 4 days a week as a vet tech, and then on my day off, I started bathing dogs at the local grooming salon in my hometown. And I just really liked working at the grooming salon. It was a lot more lighthearted than the vet because, with the sick animals and everything, I just liked being able to help dogs be clean and happy and give them a good experience. And so slowly I just started learning on the job how to groom dogs. And then 2 years ago, I moved here from central Wisconsin, and I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of having Sydney's Bark and Bath.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I was going to ask a question. You said you kind of did on-the-job training.
Mm-hmm.
is that kind of how you learn to groom a dog, or is there like a dog grooming school that you go to, or?
They do have programs that you can learn and courses you can take, but most dog groomers learn on the job, I believe.
Okay. So, do you groom cats as well? Like, I would think that would be a challenge for sure.
The bath is definitely a challenge. Most cats do not like water. I would say at least half of the cats that come in are on an oral sedative, but there are a couple of cats that do just get a bath and blow dry. They've been coming since they were kittens, and they're fairly relaxed.
That cracks me up. I'm taking my cat to get his hair washed.
Yes, otherwise they
You
just...
do Brazilian blowouts on them?
Yes. Perms, all of it.
Oh, Lord. That cracks me up.
What's
I have a cat, so that's why I'm asking, because my cat would not go for that at all.
No, your cat would not.
No, my cat is very antisocial.
My own cats would not probably like a bath either. I've never tried it on them.
I know the doodle breed is kind of a. So do you groom those? Is that sometimes a challenge with their fur or?
We see a lot of doodles. Their coat is very high maintenance, but I'm here to educate people, and most people want to be educated on their pets and how to make them more comfortable. So as long as they stay on a regular maintenance schedule, we can maintain it together, and a lot of people really like that long teddy bear look. So as long as we work together and keep them brushed out, we can keep them fluffy and cute. So I actually like the doodles a lot. I enjoy doing the fluffy haircuts on them.
I have a doodle, so
Yeah.
that's why I was asking. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I know we were talking before we got started on the Facebook Live about the fact that you do help with the animal shelter and the pets that they may take in. So do you want to talk about that, about how you give back to the community doing that? Because I know it was kind of heart-wrenching, the story you were telling us about these dogs.
Yes, so earlier in the year on 2 separate cases, I groomed 2 dogs that were taken in from cruelty cases, but they were from separate homes. One of them actually was adopted by one of my regular clients, so I still get to see her, and that makes me really happy to still be able to groom her and see her grow and make sure that she's happy. And over the weekend, I helped the shelter groom a large cruelty case that they took in, I believe, around 12 dogs. And I was able to groom 7 of them. The rest of them had short hair and didn't need haircuts, but I was able to groom 7 of them. They were in very rough condition with their hair. Their ears were matted right to their shoulders. It was heart-wrenching, but I was so happy to be able to help, and it was very rewarding spending the day at the shelter as well, seeing everybody from the community come in and donate and ask how they can help, and I was really glad to be a part of that.
And I think that's part of what makes a successful small business, is when you're willing to give back to the community, you know, and help in situations like that, because people are going to remember that you did those types of things. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They're going to use you because of that. So
yeah, I was glad to help, and I always try and help the shelter when I can. So
good deal. All right, is there anything else about your business you'd like to share with us?
I think we covered most of the details. I am doing an open house next Friday, September 8th from 11 to 2 o'clock. And I recently joined the Chamber of Commerce, so we'll be having my ribbon cutting ceremony.
Awesome.
And Redbud Deli is providing some yummy snacks. And we'll be having some giveaways coming up too. So be sure to like my Facebook page to watch for my giveaways and other events that I'll be attending as well.
All right, good deal. We will link to her Facebook page in the comments after the live is over. And what is the phone number for your business? What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
You can contact me at 423-258-8161. A lot of people also message me on my Facebook page, and if you check out my website that's linked on my Facebook page, I offer online booking as well.
Okay, good deal. So again, we'll post her Facebook page in the comments, and we'll put that phone number in there for you. All right, so the last question is one that we ask all of our guests that come on here, and that is, if you could go back in time and give your 20-year-old self a piece of advice, what would that be?
I would say I would tell myself that no dream is too big, and it doesn't hurt to just ask for what you want and start there, because you never know what's possible if you don't try.
That's exactly right.
Good advice.
And I think that's what a lot of young people just think, oh, well, I could never do that. That's never going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know until you try.
I did think that way before I started my own business, and my husband really encouraged me to just try. He said, all you have to do is call around and try, and it was a lot easier to get started once I tried. So
yeah.
I was very thankful and blessed to be able to buy my own building and run my own grooming salon, and I also own the mini storage in the same parking lot. So,
okay. Good deal.
yes, I've been very blessed to be able to run 2 businesses on my own. So
That's
Awesome. And she's only 27. So
yeah.
Yes.
there you go.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Sydney. And we are going to let you escape before we start
Okay.
talking about mortgages and real estate, all that boring stuff. But thank you again for being on here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
Get back to those dogs, right?
Yeah.
All right, Miss Kim, what can you tell me about mortgage rates? You know, I was on vacation last week, so I'm a little out of the loop.
Yeah, they're still moved up some. THDA's had 2 rate increases since I guess we talked last.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. They usually don't increase that quickly.
We were 5.875, I think, the last time we were on here for THDA, and it's 6.375 now. They went to 6.125 and then went on to 6.375 yesterday.
Okay.
So, we had our, I guess our annual or semi-annual meeting last week with the expert from, who used to work for HUD, and of course his projection is he feels like maybe by spring might see some rates coming down. He kind of feels like these adjustments the Fed is making is they overinflated it, so hopefully then we'll start seeing some of that and they may come back down. He's thinking maybe spring. So we're hoping.
Well, now, and I've seen on different social media things that people are talking about like rates are almost 8%, but I mean, I was thinking I saw something the other day that said like 30-year was 7 or 7.25.
Yeah, we're running in the mid to low 7s.
Okay.
And that's with good credit. There's a lot of things that go into those interest rate quotes, but and what your closing costs are, credit scores, loan size, things like that. But yeah,
loan type, all that good stuff.
Now, if someone came along today and said, "Hey, I want to buy investment property," that might be an 8% on a 30-year fixed rate. But we still go back to the marry the house, date the rate, and divorce the rent. So another thing this gentleman brought out last week was if these rates do come back down, where things may have slowed a little bit, for some people are saying, hey, I'm just going to wait to purchase when rates come down, then you're going to have this max, influx of people trying to buy again. So, if you can buy now and afford it, you can always refi it later.
And we've talked about that on here. I mean, people are saying, well, home prices are so overinflated right now. We're going to wait on the home prices to come down. But the thing of it is, the home prices are not going to come down, because when rates start to drop, like Kim said, we're going to have a lot more people coming back into the market to buy a home that have been sitting on the sideline.
Right.
Plus, a lot of people who are wanting to sell but feel locked into their house because of the rate they have are then going to say, okay, now's our time. They're going to put their house up for sale, but they're also going to be looking for another home. So you're going to have a lot more activity, and we thought that like 2021 was crazy. I think when we get rates below 6%, it's going to like really open that floodgate up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think people are going to say, okay, 5.5, 5 3/4 doesn't sound quite as bad.
Yeah.
When I've been looking at 7%. So,
exactly.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I think if you can buy now, this is a great time for you to buy, because you have a lot less competition as a buyer in the marketplace right now. Housing affordability, we've talked about this, like it is hard to afford a house right now. It's not like it was 5 years ago. House prices have went up, the interest rates have went up, and I heard a statistic that said the average mortgage payment right now in America is like $2,600. And that blows my mind. I mean,
I know, me too.
you know, my house payment with taxes and insurance and everything is like $9.95. So
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine paying $2,600 a month. But people are doing it. So anyway, if you can afford to buy a house right now and you're good with paying a 7% interest rate, now's the time to get out there and do it. But I did look at the numbers when I got back from vacation of what's been going on in Hamlin County since the 1st of August. We've had 61 new listings that have come on the market in Hamlin County. As of Monday, 25 of those were already under contract. So I did see a decrease in that number because normally we're seeing like about 2/3 of those new listings going under contract, fairly quickly.
Yes.
So I think it is slowing down as far as like buyers making that leap to go under contract. We've had 35 price changes. 66 homes have sold already during the month of August. 29 homes total have went under contract in the month of August. The average sales price of those homes that sold was around $331,000. I will get it out in just a minute. $331,000. The average days on the market was 30, and the average list to sell price ratio was 98.5%. The median sales price is what I've really seen an increase in because it went up to $294,800, and it had been kind of in that $250,000, $260,000 range.
Wow.
So the median days on market was 16 and a half, which again is an increase. That had been running like 1 to 2 days. So now instead of going under contract in a day or two, we're seeing homes sit on the market for maybe a couple of weeks, before they get an accepted offer. But the median list to sell price ratio is 100%, meaning people are getting what they're asking for their house. So right now in Hamlin County, we have 103 homes that are active and available to purchase. We have 89 homes that are under contract. 25 of the active listings are new construction homes. So, if we didn't have new construction going on right now, I think we would really be seeing the crunch as far as the inventory goes. But definitely seeing a little bit of a delay now. And it goes back to you've got to price your house right, and you've got to make sure your home is prepared to go on the market. And then the third key is to make sure it's presented properly. So you want an agent who's hiring a professional photographer who is putting it out on the internet in as many places as they can find. We're still seeing cash offers come in. People are still moving here from California, Texas, Florida, New York, wherever. So you have to take the approach of getting it in as many places as you possibly can to attract that out-of-town cash buyer to come in who's going to make for a lot quicker close. I know you don't want to hear that because you like those finance buyers, but...
So you realtors hate cash deals, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we hate them. We hate them all day long, so... But, again, it calls for a quicker closing, usually a little less stressful in the end, but... anything else we need to know about mortgage-wise? Any new
No, we still,
programs
we're still
coming out?
doing that. That's another thing, we've mentioned it several times. Our company's offering the buy down, the 2-1 buy down, which means you can buy the interest rate down, 2% year one, 1% the second year. And if rates were to drop, before those 2 years are up, the money set aside to buy that rate down, can go towards your mortgage payoff. So it's not like you lose that money. So
Okay.
again, it still makes it another great reason to purchase now versus later.
And the seller has to pay the 2-1.
Well, actually, they've changed that. The buyer or seller, either one can pay it.
Oh, wow.
Or it
That
can
is
even
important.
be split. Yeah, seller can pay half, buyer can pay half. So anyone can pay it. Yes.
Okay, well, that's definitely good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know some of the sellers, people talk about doing a price reduction.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not getting any offers within the first couple of weeks, and we need to reduce the price. And I know a lot of times it's, let's offer to pay the buy down,
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to be part of the buyer's closing cost. And if we can help them to get a lower rate initially, it may help them qualify for your home. So,
and actually, on that topic, we've even got an option called a seller boost. So if you do have someone, instead of reducing that price, they can do. It's not even a temporary buy down; it's a permanent buy down. So again, it's a great deal. And again, the seller will still net the same amount of money instead of coming down on the price, leave the price, and then pay for this permanent buy down. So they've got the lower rate for the term of the loan.
right. And it definitely makes more sense because if you can make the home more affordable for the buyer
Exactly.
without reducing your price,
Mhm.
you know, then why not do it? Because a lot of buyers are doing either government loans,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, and they need that seller concession. So
Mhm.
if you can do the rate buy down, it just makes more sense than doing the price reduction.
Mhm.
So
Another thing we encourage people, you know, obviously there are options out there, no down payment, that you can buy a home with basically no down payment, no money out of pocket if seller pays closing costs. Obviously with those programs, the guides are a little bit stricter. You know, I always use the term, you know, skin in the game. So if you're not investing any money into the transaction, then the guidelines are going to be a little bit tougher for you, to be approved on. So you know, if you can save that money, if you can, pull from a 401k, there's options with FHA and 3 and 5% conventional that's going to allow you to go with a more expensive home because again, the guides are not going to be as strict. So
right.
we see that a lot. So you give them their if they do a no down payment, you say, well, you're capped at 150, but hey, if you can pay some down, you can go up to 250 or whatever, So there's definitely some options, for the people with down payments.
Right. Yeah, and I think I did a video earlier today that Terry's going to post for us later, but it was talking about, first time home buyers don't need to clear out their savings account to buy a house.
Exactly.
You need to have emergency funds so that the air conditioner breaks or, the roof starts leaking or whatever the case may be. You want to have money set aside to do that. So don't buy a house and be house rich and cash poor.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you have some money set aside to handle those emergencies. So
yeah, definitely.
Anyway.
So.
All right. Anything else I need to know? Have you caught me up about mortgages in the past 2 weeks?
I'm trying. So no more vacations for you.
Not till next year, anyway, for sure. Venus has already said she's ready to go back, though. So I'm like, I'm with you, sister. I'm with you.
That's why I saw pictures. I'm sure she is ready to go back.
But now she was ready to come home. When it was time to come home, like as soon as we got in the car, and she's like, going home. And I'm like, yeah, we're going home. And then when we saw the mountains, it's like at that point when you see the mountains in the distance, you know that you're closer to home than you were to the beach. And so she would like keep her eye on that mountain and say, where are we at? Where's the mountain? Where's the mountain? And when we were going through the mountain, that messed her up because she's like, where's the mountain? And I'm like, it's on either side of you, honey. So anyway.
Well, and for you people that are not from here and don't know about our mountains, you got to come and see them. You got to come and see them.
And that is why all these people from other states moved to Tennessee. We've got mountains, we've got lakes, we've got beautiful scenery. Mm-hmm. We have 4 different seasons. We have no property taxes, no state income taxes, and we do have cheap property taxes.
Yes, compared to other places. Very
cheap. I mean, I've had people come and look at houses, and they're like, well, what are the property taxes on it? And you tell them, and they're like, is that a month? And I'm like, no, that's for the whole year. And they're just blown away because they're used to paying $5,000 and $10,000 a year.
Oh yeah.
In property taxes, and you could have a darn $5 million house here and probably not pay $10,000.
Yeah.
In property taxes. True. So yeah, if you're moving here, if you're looking for a place to move, East Tennessee is definitely probably one of the most beautiful places you could find to come to. So, all right. We will be back with you next week. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.